Today on the bench I want to tie you up Dawn's Magic Leech. Now what makes this leech pattern so special is the underbody we use into the tail that makes it so effective. So make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook we use a MUSTAD C53S 3X long size 12. We'll tie with some 8/0 Semperfli brown wax thread. We'll use a 7/64 inch brown magic bead for the bead, some Arizona brown brick semi-seal for the tail, some white angel hair for the tail highlights, some white angel hair for the underbody, and some Arizona brown brick semi-seal for the overbody. So to start the fly off, as always, when you're using a bead, we put the bead on with the small diameter forward towards the eyelet. Take my thread, and again, always form a nice base layer. You want to build up a base layer so that nothing slides on the hook, and cut off your excess. Now that I have the thread tied in, I'm going to take my thread just to the rear of the bend of the hook. I'm actually going to take a little bit, just a small amount of my semi-seal, brown semi-seal. I'm going to roll it in my hands and just tie it in right at that bend in the hook. Cut off your excess, and then we're just going to pull it out to form a tail. Now, usually I don't cut it, and I just like a light, small tail on that. So, again, just keep pulling it off until you have a small tail built on the fly. Now that we have the tail tied in, here's the secret to this pattern. And I love this angel hair for underbodies. It really accentuates the fly, and I use it in different colors. Of course, I'm using the clear, the white. I use a light blue, different colors when I want to vary the pattern. But I'm just gonna dub it on my thread, and again, keep it fairly sparse. And just dub that onto your thread. Keep the majority near the tail, and then we're just gonna wrap it in to actually form a body, an underbody on the fly, and we'll pick it out to actually accentuate the tail. So again, just keep wrapping it, and then start tying in the body. Keep it thin near the front, wrap it back, so you're forming an underbody. And when you get near the tail, just take a couple of wraps back there and leave your thread. Don't cut it, don't move it, don't do anything with your thread. Then what we're going to do, so once we have that body tied in, pick it out. So pick it back, so you're actually adding to the body and the tail. So you'll see all this material picks out and forms a leechy body and adds to that tail. So now you've got a brown tail in combination with this angel hair. And then any extra at the back, you want to pick it out so it's about the same length as your brown tail. Now that we have the underbody tied in and kind of that material flowing back into the tail, I'm going to form a dubbing loop. And I like to make it about a few inches long. And don't worry about pressing down this material. Just form the loop and then wrap your thread towards the eyelet. And leave that there. Now we're going to wrap over this underbody, and we're going to dub in with a bunch of our brown semi-seal, the brown brick semi-seal. So just form that dubbing loop. And again, when you put in the dubbing, keep it very sparse. Don't put too much on there. Keep it nice and sparse. Leeches are, pretty full body. This will be a full-bodied fly, but we want it to look real leechy. Put this all in, and then once you have enough in the dubbing loop, start wrapping it up. Form a real nice dubbing loop. Pick out your excess as you go. Yeah, and then once we have the dubbing loop formed, your thread's now near the eyelet. We're going to start wrapping forward, and as you wrap forward over that nice shiny underbody, just keep pulling that material back. And it doesn't matter if you leave a few gaps. You don't have to tighten it right up on the body, because I want a little bit of that, that white angel hair shining through on the body. It gives it just a beautiful accent on the fly. And just keep pulling that material back to form a nice leechy body all the way until you get to the head, right behind the bead. And once you get to the bead, just tie off. So now, before we form the body on the fly, we take our whip finisher actually whip finish right behind the bead. And you can see how beautiful these colors match. So we'll do a couple of whip finishes, make sure that's nice and solid. And once you got the whip finish it off, take a nice dubbing pick, pick out that body and pick it all back. And what it's gonna do is pull out some of that nice angel hair from underneath and blend it with that semi-seal, so you got a nice brown kind of red cover on the fly, body on it, along with that nice flash underneath. And this really sets off these patterns. And we're doing this a lot now with different color angel hairs underneath. So like again, we'll vary it with the reds, purples, greens, with a different colored body, usually a darker body color, and you get these beautiful leech patterns. So there it is, Dawn's Magic Leech. I love the brown magic beads. They're excellent. All the different color magic beads are excellent. But really, when you start varying that with an underbody that's nice and colorful and bright, and you cover it with a darker overbody, it really sets off these leech patterns. To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one shown, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime. To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one shown, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.